Welcome to episode 24 of the Rebel Army podcast, the official podcast of Cork City Football Club. And this week there's been a lot going on. Welcome back to another episode of the Rebel Army podcast. I'm joined, as always, by Aaron Hoey. How are you?
Not too bad now, Stephen. It's been a busy weekend. But
you took a small little break last week. You were away sunning yourselves. Or were you Mr. Agent in disguise or something?
I was definitely sunning myself, yeah. I'm never an agent. I'm never involved in anything until the very last minute. But it was a nice little break. Nice to get a bit of sun and bring a bit of sun back with me as well.
Definitely brought sun back with you since you've come back. It's been quite good. Even in the cross on Friday night, it was quite sunny.
Class. I'd been getting texts the whole time I was away that, oh, it's awful, it's raining, blah, blah. Got to the cross, it was sunny. I was like, geez, what are you complaining about? This is great. Yeah. But no, it's good to be back. And yeah, as we mentioned already, a very busy weekend and start of the week.
I suppose we might, before we get stuck into results, we might as well get stuck into the biggest news of all.
We can't ignore it.
Yeah. So you came back on Friday, and by Sunday you had to do probably the biggest announcement that the club has had in a few years in terms of the re-signing of Ruairí Keating.
I would say the biggest thing I've got to announce anyway, as long as I've been here. But yeah, unreal, wasn't it? Like, just the reaction to it was class.
Did you have time to prepare for that?
Yeah, well, I kind of have these things half ready all the time anyway.
Okay,
just
so you had
on the off
that
chance
something could happen.
Yeah. I had a bit of an inkling. So I had it ready.
So you got started to do a bit of design work.
Yes, yeah.
And teasers, there was a couple of teasers on Sunday morning.
Do you know what? There was a teaser. I would have liked to put the teaser out. We put it out about a minute and a half before the announcement. And to be fair, that was enough, because you see the reaction to that. That was enough.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it a little bit earlier, even 5 or 10 minutes. 5 minutes is probably the sweet spot. But yeah, we had actually coordinated with Pats to go at that time because they wanted to announce it too. So to be fair to them as well.
Oh, so you couldn't drag it out?
Couldn't drag it out too much, couldn't spoil it.
You couldn't do something the day before with kind of
you couldn't let people...
little mystery clues or something like that.
As the person who reads the notifications as they're coming in, I'm not letting anything sit for 24 hours because my phone will be absolutely on fire.
In case you go to the cinema and you get
oh
off.
my God, the cinema. And do you know what? As I said, I had a bit of an inkling about this, and I said to Aina, I was like, look, I'm going to the cinema on Saturday. Give me notice beforehand if something's going to happen. For people who don't know, the whole cinema story, which still gets rinsed on the forum quite regularly, is last year when Colin resigned. So basically I went to the cinema some Tuesday evening, whatever, minding my own business. Movie ended. I opened my phone and the amount of notifications, missed calls, texts, basically Colin had resigned. And the news got out there, so it was all over social media and everyone was going mad that the club weren't making a comment or weren't saying anything. I was just at the cinema. Do you know what I mean?
Well, at least you're not one of those people at the cinema that have their screen on all the time.
Exactly.
You see this blue light appear.
I was respectful for everyone else in the cinema.
Fair play to you for that.
But yeah, that thing, that gets mentioned. To me, I get a text once a week. As soon as the transfer window opens, we must be at the cinema again. There's nothing going on. So yeah, I'll never live that one down. But thankfully this time it happened after I left the cinema. So better this time around.
So I'd say the excitement was unreal then when you saw that he was coming back, and straight away the designs were being created, and I'd say you were looking forward to just pressing the button.
The worst thing about it is he wasn't actually in Cork yet, so there was a lot of kit swapping being done, like it was old pictures being swapped in with the new jersey and stuff. But look, that's it. I always, as a fan first and foremost, I love I get to have my own little reaction first. Do you know what I mean? Like it's almost like I get to know before everyone else, and then I get to share it.
There's something nice about that, actually.
Yeah, there is, but then I get to enjoy everyone else's reaction as well. Do you know what I mean? Like I get to sit back and kind of take that on as well, which is brilliant.
Fair surprise. I look at Twitter, next thing, Ruairí Keating signs back. I didn't even see the clue. That's how fast that happened.
Literally, I'd say I put it up a minute, maybe a little bit more before the announcement. But the best thing about it for me, it didn't leak.
Yeah,
and in today's age, everything leaks, and it didn't, so it had that much more impactful feeling about it when the news dropped.
Phenomenal response, the amount of likes and comments. And
it was incredible.
And I know it's not all about social media, but it's one way to kind of get fan reaction nowadays is when you see how much engaged the post is after you put it up, and you could just see how much loved he is by the fans. Like,
that's the main thing that struck me is, like, we all love him internally at the club anyway, but the wider fan base, the reaction to it, and even his reaction, like his quotes. I'll play it in a minute. I did a quick interview with him, and you could just see how much he loves the place and how happy he is to be back. And yeah, it's stuff like that when you get to see the reaction to the main announcement, but the follow-up bits and the video and stuff like that. It's just brilliant. It really, like, there's like a whole new sort of buzz around off the back of that. And it's just like, we're top of the table. One of our best ever strikers is back. Probably going to chip in with a lot of goals between now and the end of the season, you'd hope.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just kind of exciting all around, isn't it?
It's really exciting. It kind of it's been a while since we've had a kind of someone re-sign for the club like that. That generated that much excitement. Kind of reminds me years ago when the likes of George O'Callaghan or John Flynn rejoined the club after being away for a while and people getting hyped up. That's kind of what it feels like.
Do you know what? We actually had it, I think it was it 2021? Stephen Beattie came back.
Oh, Steve, yeah.
I remember the announcement, the reaction to that at the time. I was like, oh, Jesus, this is great.
But I say this is big, or no offence to Beats.
No offence to Beats whatsoever, because that was incredible. I think it's just the fact that Beats was gone a couple of years, whereas Keating's only been gone a couple of months, and he's back. And kind of.
So he had about 8 months? 9?
Yeah, at the end of last season anyway, yeah. But like when Beattie came back, it was something that had kind of been speculated for a while. And I think he kind of made it clear at the time that he'd want to be coming back as well, whereas this Keating one just came out of the blue.
People probably thought he wouldn't come back.
Yeah, not this soon anyway. So that's kind of what caught people by surprise. And as I said, that made it that more impactful when we announced it. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. And I think me, you, everyone at the club and all the supporters just can't wait to see him back on the pitch for us.
And like, I mean, yeah, as you said, he's bound to score goals. I mean, look at him in the Premier Division last season. Like, he was getting goals again in the First Division, and with the wingers that we have at the club now and stuff, you'd imagine the supply will be quite good for him. Yeah,
like we always talk about how good he was for us last year and how many goals he got and the type of goal he got. And again, that was in a relegation team. Like that, he was very much kind of a positive point in not a great season, really.
Plus a very tough season from personally as well.
100%, yeah, of course.
To come back and score after that was, you know, that shows you what kind of a player he is, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think we all want to see him hit those heights again with us, and hopefully he will.
So you caught up with him yesterday, did you?
I did. I spoke to him briefly yesterday in Bishopstown. It's brilliant. Like, he signed on Sunday, straight down yesterday to train.
He went straight into training?
Straight into training, yeah. And the players are actually off on Tuesday, so he's gone up now to basically, he told me, put the whole house into a van and drive the van back down here. But Shane Long actually had a good tweet, our S&C coach had a good tweet that he slotted back into training yesterday, got about 50 goals, so it's like he's never been gone. But I spoke to him briefly yesterday, and you could just see how happy he was to be back.
Keats, first and foremost, welcome back. How's it feel to be a Cork City player again?
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's great. I'm absolutely delighted to be back here, and I'm just excited to finish out the season strong.
And the last 24 hours since the announcement, we all saw the reaction online, you saw the reaction online. What did that feel like to have that?
It was brilliant. It's been a tough time the last couple of months. Struggled a lot off the field, so to see a reaction like that coming back where I feel I'm not my happiest and want to be is, it's very special. It definitely gave me a boost, and I just can't wait to play at the Cross next week.
The 2 years or a year and a half you had here, did you feel like you played your best football and you kind of want to get back to that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think everything went so well for me down here. The connection with the fans and the football, took care of itself, and the goals I scored, it was just everything worked. I was happy on and off the pitch. So I think the tough time I've had of late, I think I'm just looking to settle again and just be happy and enjoy my football.
And the relationship you built with the Cork City fans while you were here. We're away this Friday, but we're obviously back at Turner's Cross next week. How excited are you to just get out in front of the shed again?
Yeah, I can't wait. Like you said, seeing the reaction online and seeing all the photos and the banners and everything again, it's just, I'm really, really excited. I can't wait to see everybody, and hopefully we can put on a good show.
Personal goals for the season, you probably won't tell us a number, but I'd imagine you want to get a couple of goals in the last 9 or so games.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I know we're 12 points clear, but we still have, a couple of games, to get this done, and that's obviously the aim, and obviously the cup as well. It'd be great to go on a good run if we can beat Derry. We're at the business end of the cup, so if we can go one better than last year, that'll be unbelievable. And just play as much as I can, get fit again, get confident, and get scoring goals. So that's really the main aim.
Yeah, you can hear it in the fella's voice, like coming home, like, isn't it, or something?
It is, yeah. It's funny. We had a couple of tweets that he's from Mayo, he's not from Cork. He'll nearly tell you at this point Cork is the second home for him. Like, he loves it down here. And yeah, it's just brilliant to have him back.
No, I'd imagine so. Obviously, his first game is away, but Do you think he'll play on Friday night?
I don't know. Yeah, like he trained on Monday, so
Yeah.
I'd imagine he wants to. The big one is obviously Athlone next week at Turner's Cross, because not only is it first versus second, it's now Keating's homecoming. It's the big welcome home party, which is going to be brilliant.
They should nearly hold out.
I know, leave him out on Friday. I'd say there'll be a couple of disappointed supporters in the Marcus Field on Friday night.
That's the marketing side of me thinking that, like, hold
Yeah.
out. You know, like Real Madrid
Well, it could
do
be
this
better,
big thing where they all
the big
have the big
unveiling.
crowds.
Yeah, well, it could be better. Think now, get a hat trick there on Friday against Treaty.
Yeah,
and
that's true, actually,
even
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are the calculated risks you have to take, I suppose. That's why us marketing kind of people aren't in the football side of the business.
We don't pick the team.
Yeah, but oh, it's going to be brilliant. Like, I just think that first goal into the shed again is going to be the roof will lift off the place.
Be unbelievable.
Yeah,
A straight back with the number 9. So
straight back. Everyone was giving out. We didn't have a number 9.
yeah,
We were just keeping it for him. We knew he'd come back.
it was retired until he came back.
Yeah, we replaced Ruairí Keating with Ruairí Keating, so hopefully that works out.
And am I right in saying he's contracted till the end of 2026 now?
I don't know what it is. It's a multi-year contract.
Yeah.
That's all I know. That's all it was in the press release. So it's definitely not till the end of this year anyway. So it's we have
The
him for a while.
multi-year is at least a year and a half, I'd imagine.
You'd
anyway,
imagine so, yeah. So we have him for a bit. It's funny, like he was only here for 2 years.
Yeah.
So it feels like we had him for years, and he got so many goals for us. But yeah, might have him longer this time.
And he wasn't the only signing this week. It was another great piece of news over the weekend as well.
Sean Murray. Do you know what? It's probably been overshadowed a bit.
People nearly forgot about it already.
Yeah, that went out on Saturday, and like Sean Murray's been incredible for us this year.
Yes.
So that bit of business alone, people are really happy with, and rightly so. Like that's brilliant.
And they're two players that would be right at home in the Premier Division as well. So
100%,
that's the thing, and I think the club is forward planning now. Look, we don't want to take things for granted, but you know, you'd imagine that unless something really bad happens over the next couple of weeks, we should get promotion, hopefully. So now we need to be planning for next season already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and as you said, Sean Murray and Ruairí Keating are definitely Premier Division players. Sean Murray is another guy who came down to Cork this year, never really been in Cork, and loves the place.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant for us, brilliant for him. I think they're settled down here now, and he's happy to be here. Another multi-year deal, as we said. But yeah, it's kind of been overshadowed a bit. So you feel bad for him in that regard. But look, he's here the last couple of months. He knows how the Cork City fans feel about him, and he's obviously saw the reaction as well. But yeah, brilliant bit of business.
It says a lot about the people of Cork. We must be doing something well down here anyway. So the fans and all that, you make people feel very much at home, because they do seem to like the place when they come here.
Exactly, yeah. But you see it this year, and Tim has said it so many times in nearly every interview about how on a Friday night, the shed, but not even just the shed, the whole ground doesn't stop going for 90 minutes, and they really make you feel, they make the players feel like it's one big family, which it is.
Yeah.
And it's just brilliant.
And like that, you could see that actually on Friday night just gone. I know we won 2-0 against Kerry. But that second goal by Barry, and you could see the way he went over to the shed
Straight
and the
to
crowd.
the shed, yeah.
It
Great
was
goal
a
as well, by
lovely
the way.
moment though. It was kind of like everyone was together or something like that as well. Like, you know,
What a finish that was as well, by the way.
brilliant finish.
Unreal.
Totally caught the keeper off guard.
Kind of different to the first goal, which wasn't the most appealing
No.
goal in the world, but it went in.
But
That's
it
all
went
that
in,
matters.
and that's all that matters.
When it's
yeah.
0-0, all that matters is the ball ends up in there. It doesn't matter how. But that second goal from Barry he's got a couple of goals this year, and all of them have been really good strikes. There was a volley down in Cove, the one against Wexford at the cross.
Yeah,
This one, probably one or two others as well, I'm forgetting. But
he's a scorer of great goals. Actually, in fairness to him, like
yeah, he is. to
he's
be
always
fair.
able to produce.
Yeah.
You know, those kind of worldies, kind of as such. Like he's given a challenge to Cahill, who is kind of taking a bit of a break for a week or two there.
Yeah,
in terms of- he was doing it too much there a few weeks ago.
It was unfair for goalkeepers on the other sides. Once he does it again on Friday now, because we've played Treaty twice this year. It's been 0-0 both times.
Oh
So,
yeah.
A bit
Actually,
of,
take back about what I said about Rory. Maybe we do need to play him against
a bit of
the Treaty.
excitement down there. Yeah. There's a couple of friends a couple of my friends went to the away game in Treaty last time, and it was 0-0. To be honest, it wasn't the best game. And I was chatting to them this week. I was like, it should be better this week. We might get a goal or two if you're going again. But yeah, nice one to have this weekend.
At one point as well, the other night, actually, when we were beating Kerry, we were actually 17 points clear, I think, or something.
Yeah,
like that.
right up until the end.
Yeah.
Athlone Cove were holding Athlone.
Yeah.
And Athlone got a winner very late on down in Cove, so that would have been 17.
Yeah,
That would have been 17 points with, I think, 9 games left.
9, I think, yeah.
10 games left. So like we're potentially 5-6 wins away from winning the league. Like,
yeah, you're thinking the way we're going. Okay, we probably won't win all the games, but
well, we might. Who knows?
you're thinking of September, kind of, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
We've never
And the
won a
thing
league
is as
that
well
early.
is we have Athlone on Friday. Well, Friday week.
Yeah, so that could,
that's a 6-pointer, like.
Yeah.
Which could accelerate that a
They
bit.
actually have to win that game.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And that could accelerate that. That's not taking into account as well their other fixtures. So it's a very interesting couple of weeks coming up.
Yeah, no, it's and of course we're through to the next round of the cup as well. So since the last time we spoke, while you were sunning yourself,
I was watching it, to be fair.
in fairness to you, you were doing work while you were over there too.
I was kept busy.
You know, so there was a couple of things been happening, but yeah, it wasn't a great game. 1-0 against Harps, but we're through to the next round of the cup and another home draw.
Another home draw, yeah, a big draw really.
Yeah, against
Derry
one of
City.
the top teams in
Yeah.
the Premier Division, like
They're they had a disappointing result in Europe there recently, but they're still
they did
right
but
up there in the league.
Yeah, you wonder about their priorities. Like maybe they weren't concentrating too much on it or something. That, you know, like I was surprised they were beaten by a team from Gibraltar, but you know, they're up at the top half of the table. Like they're challenging like all the time.
You look at the squad they have as well. Some of the players that are there, like, they're a very, very good team.
But they won't fancy coming to Cork, I'd say.
Definitely not, and not with Ruairí Keating coming back as well, and the buzz that's here at the minute. They won't want to have to travel all the way down here, and they'll be fearing an upset because look, it would be an upset. We're a first division team against their second in the Premier, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
So, it's a difficult journey to make at the best of times, but yeah, there's probably that little extra reason for them not to want to be doing it now over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I know. I'll be like, let's ourselves and Derry go back a long time, like in terms of, you know, big games and stuff. Obviously, 2005 is the one
That's
that
the big
sticks
one,
out in a lot of people's minds. But like, you know, it's going back years. Like.
There wouldn't be much of like an actual rivalry between the clubs. Yeah, we get on with them. I think the two fan bases get on as well, which is nice. But that doesn't mean we don't want to beat them.
Yeah, but I suppose in many ways, they're the two biggest clubs outside of Dublin.
Two big city clubs, anyway. Yeah.
You know, I know people listening maybe from Galway or Sligo might, you know, question that, but
we are though. Yeah,
attendance-wise, by far the two biggest clubs outside of Dublin. Like.
Yeah, history-wise as well, Derry are a massive club. Yeah. But that'll be a good one. You'd imagine there'll be a big crowd at that. Not sure how much of a crowd they'll bring. It's one of those tricky ones. There's never going to be a.
Yeah, and it's on the Friday night, isn't it?
Yeah, it's confirmed for the Friday.
No, it is the summer, so people, you know.
Yeah, they're the one club you kind of,
you
know, it's a cup tie. Normally you'd have a big away following and you kind of like, oh geez, they didn't fill their allocation. It's the one club kind of get a pass. Like you wouldn't expect us to fill an allocation up in Derry either.
Derry and Harps are like it's
just too far. Like it's very, very far. But
it's not Wilton United. It could have been them because they're the other Cork team.
They're off the Drogheda now. Yeah,
they're off the Drogheda. Yeah. They might pull off an upset.
Hopefully, yeah. I hope that's where.
Yeah.
You'd like a non-league club to go as far as possible. It's just a lovely like cup story there.
The romance of the cup. Like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have a couple. We had one of our cup runs a couple of years ago. We had a couple of non-league clubs. We had Maynooth University Town. Can't remember what year that was, but we had a run where we had a couple of non-league clubs like that. It would have been nice to get Wilton as well for, you know, they knocked us out of the Munster Senior Cup.
Would have been like, yeah.
Bit of revenge on the table there, like, but not to be this time. Maybe in the next round if we both get through.
If they beat Drogheda. Drogheda are having a tough time in the Premier Division as well.
Their priority is
they might take Wilton for granted.
But their priority as well is the Premier Division and staying up.
Not the
so
cup.
We'll see.
The women have been doing well lately, actually, you know.
Last 3 games have been beat Bows, beat Peamount.
Yeah.
And played Rovers at the weekend. It was the 89th minute equaliser. So
it's
been a really good couple of weeks.
Yeah. And Colleen made the team of the week, did she?
She did, yeah. Another brilliant performance. And that's, I don't know how many times she's been in team of the week now this year, but again, well deserved. She didn't score the goal in Tala, but the goal came as a result of her hard work. It's one of those ones I think the Shamrock Rovers defence won't want to watch it again. But it was an own goal, but it happened because of the pressure Colleen was putting on the centre back. So look, another brilliant performance from her, but from the squad as a whole as well.
Yeah.
And
those signings that Danny made, like at the start of the season and also in the middle of the season, have definitely made a huge impact on the team.
100%, yeah. Particularly from the start, because you've had Colleen, Dorrow, Barrett has been in the squad the last couple of weeks, been doing brilliantly. Becky Casson came back, which we didn't get to talk about last week, but like former captain, made it to cup finals with us. Like, incredible player. Brilliant to have her back and straight into the lineup last Saturday and did brilliantly. Two more signings coming today, which I don't know if I can talk about yet because I don't know if it's going to be announced by the time these come out, but we'll follow it up next week. There's two more signings coming today, which is brilliant.
So what's the transfer deadline for the women's team?
I think it was actually the same time they were done. We just haven't announced them yet.
Okay,
they've been done a couple of days. We haven't announced them yet. But yeah, I'm kind of like, will I mention them? Will I not mention them? I'll wait. I'll leave it till next week, I think.
You'll be busy with all the kids.
Well, it's Owen Kelly does the stuff for the women's one.
So he's the women's?
Do you know what? He actually texted me as we were walking in here to upload their names to our vinyl cutter to get their names on the jerseys. So we'll have them ready for this weekend. But we can talk about them next week when they're signed, sealed, delivered type thing.
I saw Pat was busy in the shop yesterday getting
Pat's always busy in the shop.
number 9 ready for kits that people wanted to buy already.
Yeah, we've had a few orders and no doubt we'll have more over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully off the back of a couple of goals that he'll get. But straight away there was a couple of Keating 9 orders, which is brilliant. Didn't even have to do much work. It's already there on the system from last year. So brilliant stuff like that. It's one of those players as well. Look, he excites the young supporters. Like, I'm already picturing how busy the back of the shed is going to be come 10 o'clock on next Friday as people wait for autographs and selfies and stuff. It's going to be class.
Our academy teams have played a lot of matches in the last kind of 2 weeks. I think they played midweekend and they played at the weekend again.
They did, yeah. It's been a busy week and a half or so since a couple of weeks ago. There was no football at all, obviously, because of the exam season and stuff. But
they're probably making up for last time now, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and I think they're into the second phase, or I'm not sure the title of it, but kind of you're out of the first phase of the season now. But yeah, busy weekend this weekend in Bishopstown on Saturday. The 15s beat Drogheda United 1-0. Killian Murphy with the goal there. Women's 17s were away to Waterford on Saturday, and that was a 1-1 draw. Phoebe O'Shea got the City goal in that one. On Sunday then, back in Bishopstown, 17s played Waterford. It was 1-1 after 90 minutes, David Dunn scoring. Went to extra time. Denzel Obenge got a second one for City, but then Waterford equalised, so it went to penalties, and Waterford ended up winning it on penalties. So, sounds like an exciting game to be at in Bishopstown, to be fair. And then on Sunday, our women's under-19s beat Bowes 3-1. Erin O'Brien got 1 and Aoife Robinson got 2. One of those was apparently a screamer, which I haven't seen yet, but if we get a clip of that, we'll get that up on our socials.
Definitely. Is there somebody's recording all the academy games?
Every game is recorded. Yeah. Every game is recorded.
Some of them are streamed live as well, are they? Because I was watching
anything in Bishopstown. Yeah,
we've
got an AI camera in Bishopstown, so any game that's played in Bishopstown streamed on Rebel Army TV. So if you're not following Rebel Army TV, head over there on YouTube and you can watch every home academy game. Basically, they're all actually there as VODs as well after the fact, so you can go back and watch a game.
That's class. So you can actually just like be sitting at home and put it up onto the smart TV or whatever.
You can get your Cork City fix. Yeah.
For all academy games and everything. Brilliant.
Yeah, no, it is. It's one of those things that's really handy for parents who can't make the match. Not only of our players, but the away teams as well. Like, a lot of them, you wouldn't imagine there'd be a lot travelling from Drogheda, for example, for the 15s game, but they could watch it. So very handy.
Last week while you were away, I was a bit lonely, so I decided to go out to Turner's Cross. And I said, do you know what? We were talking about it for a while. I went out and checked out Monday morning memories, the football memories. And Danny was out there with a good group of guys. And a brilliant morning, actually. I enjoyed it. Had a cup of coffee, a few biscuits,
it's
or whatever.
Good crack. I was in there once, actually, before. And it's nice, interesting, the way the conversation goes in there. And
yeah, what were they talking about the last time? They were talking about, there was a video, I don't know if you saw this, there was a video on Twitter. There's this guy, and I don't know, did he work for RT or where does he get the videos? I don't know. I think he's called Killian.
Yeah, he's a Bowes fan, yeah.
Yeah, and he had this video of Turner's Cross from, I think Liam Murphy was there around 2001, 2002. And you could see that most of the stands weren't developed. I'd say it was actually earlier than that, actually. It could have been 98, actually, with Dave Barry. And most of the stands weren't developed. And people were like, oh my God, look at Turner's Cross. And that was the conversation. And the conversation was, when was the stands built? Where did they get the seats from? So it was great. People were reminiscing, that some of the older lads were like, oh, I remember that. And I remember standing up at the embankment. And,
that's class.
So it was actually, you know what, there's a lot even, and it's not for just people that are retired. This could be for any age. And there was a mix of ages there. I'd say there was a young guy, Jonathan, who I spoke
Jonathan was there, yeah, he's always there.
And then there was a couple of guys maybe in their 40s, 50s, and then a couple of guys that were retired as well. And it was nice. And they were just...
It is brilliant, to be fair. And as you said there, like, talking about that video, when there's sort of a prompt that, gets you talking about a specific.
Yeah.
That's fun to reminisce on. Like,
So I took the opportunity while I was there then I said, you know what, we'll do something a bit different. I went out, I know what the audio sounds like. No, I'm not the sound producer extraordinaire like yourself. So we went out and recorded with my phone, and we went into the Donny Ford and we looked onto the pitch, and I spoke to 3 different fans, and might as well have a listen, will we? So now I have another fan with me. Who have I this time?
John Daly.
So John, we're sitting in the Donny Ford. How long have you been coming to Turner's Cross?
Well, I don't know if I came in the early, the start around the 84, 85.
Yeah.
Kind of with business and all that, basically. I kind of didn't get enough matches in it from about 92 onwards. I kind of been here.
You kind of kept going from 92 on?
Said, yeah, every game, unless I was on holidays.
Yeah. Fond memories, I see at your own. Well, some sad memories too, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah.
What are the highlights?
The highlights for me was 98 when we won the cup in, I think it was against Shells
in Shells, yeah.
In Dublin.
When Derek Collin got the winner. We had him on the podcast only a few weeks ago.
And winning the league in 2005.
Yeah.
Thinking that the day beforehand, like that, playing Derry that week, I didn't think the game would go ahead because of the rain that was there the day before and the morning. And the winning of it and, all that kind of thing. And then to go like from there, kind of, say to 2007.
Yeah.
So, when I think we lost the Drogheda, was that the time I think we won the league?
That's right.
And then we went to Dublin and we played Drogheda in the final, and they kind of, I think they called one over us. So.
Where was the stadium has changed a lot in that time as well, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I played here myself.
Did you?
Back in.
For who?
I played with Leeds.
Yeah.
Not the Leeds in England, but
the Leeds up in Balvalan.
Balvalan, and basically I remember this pitch like when it was kind of a bog from the goal behind the shed.
Yeah.
And all the way up like a Bromack, all the way through like, and basically, and it was like the improvements has been great, but again, like basically a lot of you see we were only talking about it earlier on that we were asking what grounds you didn't think was good or very good, like, and you go to grounds and like they've come on a bit, but they haven't come on as much as like
as you'd hope.
That we'd hope, like, and as you know, when you do go away to the likes of Dundalk or Derry and you're stuck in a corner over there, like, and no stand, no nothing, and like, and the rain comes down and you get soaked.
Like, we're lucky in terms of like even away supporters coming here. It's probably one of the best in the country.
It is indeed. Yeah.
Whereas there's an awful lot of stadiums, they just have one standing.
Oh yeah.
And over the years, what kind of players are your favourites over the 4 decades of the club now?
Well, on my other side, but my business basically, I used to sponsor the likes of Kelvin Flanagan,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Decky Daly came from number 21 Fanfullas Park, where I came from 9 Fanfullas Park. So,
yeah.
And I had the pleasure to play with his father, where I worked as well. At the time I used to work in a company called Waters Munster Glass, and it was great for me to be playing with the likes of Joe, and sponsoring Declan. Then I had Joe Gamble, so basically I put a few bob.
So you've not just been a supporter, you've actually been a sponsor of the club as well.
Yeah, and even being a sponsor is very good. Like you pay your few bob and you get your name around the pitch and you get your name on the programme, and you get a bit of business back from it. But at the end of the day, look, that's what's you're passionate. Like you might follow it. Like we said, we wouldn't talk about English football, but you could follow an English football team. Like, but basically,
it's something different here, isn't it?
Anywhere you go, like basically you go to League of Ireland, you go to the Scottish League, I've met people that follow the like Hibs, Hearts, up the north, and you have Glentoran, and you have all the, they all, even though they follow English teams, but their heart is with the club that they're
their local club.
And that started probably coming with their grandfather or their father, and the family came, like, and then you had brothers and sisters, and they wanted to come in,
Would you have gone to see any team before Cork City? Like, in the early 80s?
Oh, I was big into Cork Hibs.
Were you?
Yeah.
Over from Flower Lodge.
Parky
Reno, obviously.
Oh, Parky Reno, but amazing enough, I'm probably one of the few fellas in Cork that still calls it Flower Lodge. I haven't, believe it or not, I have not gone there since it changed hands. I've never gone to see Gaelic match or whatever, they're like, and you know, I put my hand up, basically, I've never set foot inside it, and I don't think I ever will.
Yeah.
Because I just recognised that it was always a soccer pitching. You know, the GA has done massive work there over the last, when they got it, and now, like, you know, just, you know, pity, like, we lost it, but I mean, look, we have Turner's Cross. Maybe somewhere down the road, we might get another, maybe look even another Bishopstown, you know, someone come along and, we, you know.
And obviously there was a soccer match in another GA stadium last week, so
that was great. It was, I mean, that the facilities, the way it was done, and the whole lot. Just take my hands off to the FEI and all, you know, whoever was involved in it, basically. And it was great to see a match there. And I mean,
hopefully the first of many, maybe.
I've been in Croke Park, like, for a soccer match where when Ireland played Germany, they played Wales back when we had Lansdowne Road was being done, and you know, it's good that it's changing. I mean, it's like we're all in it for it, the enjoyment of, rather than, you know, and it's great that things are starting to open up, because I mean, like, Ireland is becoming a very, you know, great place to live, great place to bring people in, bring other clubs, other different types of nationalities in here, and like, to see that you can now literally, like, a game you played in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, it was played in Croke Park, you know, it's
great.
It's great.
That you're not the kind of bold kind of person anymore, or, no. You know, we were kind of pushed to the side, the football world, wasn't it? It wasn't accepted or something.
There was kind of
the foreign sports, as they call it.
There was like a bit of them and us, like, and
yes,
everyone has their preferences, like, you know, I mean,
of course, like,
I love my football, I love my soccer and all that, like, and you know, I've, like, 2 weeks ago I was in Croke Park for the semi-final in Cork and Limerick, like, and you know, first time in 40 years, I know fellas, I shouldn't have got a ticket, but at the end of the day, look, I didn't go looking for a ticket I didn't really go looking for a ticket for the final, because I knew that
to be otherwise,
you know, but at the end of the day, look, I'm going to be 70 this year, and it's the first time in a long time that I'm starting to kind of take interest, like, you know, big time, you know.
Is it because they've softened their attitude towards soccer or football, whatever you want to call it?
No, I think it's just, for me, I mean, I think it's just, in a way, it's probably the changing of the guard, you know.
Yes.
Like, when you are involved in something like in any club, doesn't matter where it is in the country, and you like the soccer rather than the GA or the rugby or the whole lot, and you know, people that are behind all the clubs and all that, you got to realise, like, that people move on, you know, like, when you're 20 and 30 and 40 and going up, like, things have to move with the times, and I think basically, like, that things have changed, and people are beginning to realise now that, you know, we've got to look after our population, or people that literally that are going out there every night, every weekend, following GA, rugby, even athletics and all that type of thing. Parents are behind all that, like, and you know, I mean, they're the people that will come.
Yeah.
And parents will, you know, prove that the other night in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, like, where, I mean, almost 19,000 people, like, the amount of children, you know, wearing the jersey.
Brilliant.
You know, and the same kids were in Croke Park yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't win, but I think time will come. I think when it happen. But I mean, that's to see. I sell programs here in the corner and Road, and I have, like, fellas that know me in the corner, basically. Which I say a lot of the kids, when they're going in, I'd be asking, like, you know, why are you wearing the Liverpool jersey, or why are you wearing Cork City jersey and all?
Yeah.
And I get the mother gets kicked off with whoever's coming with them, you know, and it's see the joy of them, you know. I love it, you know. I mean, it's a job I love to do. I mean, I don't think I would like to be involved now at the inside of what's going on here.
Yes.
Because, you know, I've been through that in all my years that I'm involved in a lot of things back where I live myself, and I just think, like, I love selling the programs, because we leave around 5:30 in the afternoon with my son and my granddaughter, and we come up, like, and we're here till we don't get home till about 10 or half past, and you know what, this great 5 hours to spend away, like, and
it's probably like a community for you, like, is it?
It is, you know.
And even coming here, like, do you come here for the football memories every week?
I do.
What brings you back?
It's like, when you come back, it's called football memories, like, but again, it's not really about that. It's such, because if there's such a topic, like, give you interest, last week, Jerry and Dave Galvin, like, everything came up.
Yeah.
Politics came up about literally, what happened in
Yeah.
America and here, like, and that's grand too, because when we finished, we said, we got a lot done this morning. We spoke about football. We spoke about the match previous Friday night against Finn Harps, and spoke about next week, and that's what it's all about. It's not just about football. It's and it's a good hour and a half, roughly about an hour and a half, and I think it's great. Like, I mean, it's Mark Phelan basically got me here. Mark, a great friend of mine, and at the end of the day, he said, should come up. And I said, okay, I'll come up, like, and unless I'm on holidays now, I'll make sure that I'm here.
Nice little routine on a Monday, so.
And get up in the morning, go out to my tidy towns where I live, and go home, have my breakfast, and come up here then leave about 11:15, and I'm here then for 11 o'clock, and,
So would you recommend other people to come along?
I would. I'd like to see a lot more. Like, it's, to me, from what I can gather, it's open to everybody. I mean,
it is, yeah.
It's just not. I don't think it's not just pensioners or over the 60. And at the end of the day, like, I mean, I'd love to see people come taking the time. I know, like, be more our age than kind of, but it's, and some of the things you learn about people going to matches, like, and getting lost and waiting around and miss the flights, and that's part of it all.
It is, yeah. And the other things are often the funny things are often the things that stick in your mind, aren't they? From over the years.
Like, it's like going somewhere. Like, I remember not too long ago we went I think it was the last year we won the Premiership last year. We drove to Dublin. There was 4 of us in the car, and we stopped in Junction 14 on the way back, and we were driving way back anyway. Next thing, for some reason, there seemed to be a lot of lorries and buses on the road from just after leaving Abbey Leaks, and we kept going, and I was saying to myself, where's the turn off left for Cork? And it turns out that we ended up on the road to Limerick.
Oh, I've done it myself once or twice, yeah.
We went up to where is it, Obama?
Obama Plaza, yeah.
We nearly ended up there, like, and I tell you, like, you kept going then, because, I mean, instead of taking 2.5 hours to go out to Cork, it was fun over 4 hours. Like, so.
And all because you were probably chatting in the car and you missed your turn off.
Chatting in the car and like that, like, and I mean, there are things that,
Yeah.
That's what life is all about.
And it is, football is more than just a game, isn't it?
It is. The friendships, like, I think it's the friendships that you have, the friendships that you make, it's in everything, it's just not in football. Like, my wife went dancing about 9 years ago, ballroom dancing in Cork, and the amount of friends we're still involved there, Cork Dance Club, and the amount of friends that we've met, some great friends that we be with, socials that we go with, we go to Spain and all that, and and they're still there, like, and it's great. And, like, friends, everyone, as you know yourself, like, friends will come and friends will go, and you mightn't see them for a long time, and they come back, and like, and you'll meet them at a match, you'll meet them somewhere else, and that's the revolving level of life,
Well, listen, thanks a million for coming on to the podcast. So, last up with our fans from Football Memories, who have we on?
Mark Phelan.
Mark, how long have you been a City fan?
Since 84.
Since
they
84?
came into the league, yeah.
Were you following League of Ireland before that as well?
I was, yeah. I was actually born in England, born in Sheffield. That's how I've always been a Blade as well. But when I came over in the early 70s, my parents actually returned to Ireland and having emigrated in the 50s.
So they were Irish?
Yeah, very much so, from Cork. And they returned, and I was 13 at the time. I came back. But at that point, I'd already been going to Bramley for a few years before that, And traditionally in Sheffield, you were either Sheffield United or Sheffield Wednesday, like, go one or the other. And they were your local team, and I remember going to school over there. I went to primary school, and I went to a couple of years of secondary school before I came over here. You were in the class like you were one or the other. There was no Manchester Uniteds or Liverpools or Celtics or Arsenal. It was one or the other. So coming over, got to know people here, friends I get in school and where I lived in Balfihan, and I started then. I went down to Flower Lodge, and one of my cousins was actually a big Hibs fan, so I kind of fell into it because they were the local team, if you like, So I followed Hibs for their time in the league.
In comparison to going to Bramall Lane, was there a huge difference between Flower Lodge and Bramall Lane?
To be fair, the Lodge was a fine ground, don't get me wrong, But I mean, facilities wise, like when I came over in Sheffield United, we were in the first division at the time, and getting crowds 35,000 and playing all the other clubs obviously in the top flight.
And they had four stands at the time.
Oh yeah. Well, funny enough, at that time it was still a three-sided ground because Bramall Lane was part of it was a cricket pitch. Believe it or not, if you look up the history of Bramall Lane going back, it was actually the club was formed by the cricket club. But in 1976, the football club basically they kicked out the cricket club after all for 120 or whatever it was at the time, and they made it a four-sided ground, which has been since, like, you know. But so
it was developed whereas you came over here, and Flower Lodge. How many stands were there?
Lodge was only just one stand at the time, and the rest of them was gravelled and banks and sandy, whatever.
Very different, so.
Oh, completely, facility-wise. No, to be fair, then the football, that was very good, as you probably
It was a
have
good
heard.
standard.
It was a good standard. Cork City was still there as well, you know, so a good rival between the two of them. But as you know, the two clubs went out for football a few years later, unfortunately, and then we had a few different incarnations at Cork Alberts and Cork United until '84 when City joined the league.
So, do you remember? Did you come to the first game?
Oh, I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember. Being at the first game when they played down the Lodge, Flower Lodge, they played in when they came into the league. But I definitely, I'd say the second or third game, I was there then and stayed with them. I've been with them since, basically, you know, following them sport.
Every season?
Every season, yeah.
Never drifted away or anything?
No, I followed them from Bishopstown to Tennis Cross, all the different grounds.
The dream of Bishopstown at the time.
I remember,
We all thought that was going to be the big stadium.
You know, and to be fair to Paddy Donovan, he had great ideas, and maybe just the wrong. At the wrong time or something.
Ahead of his time, probably, was he?
Probably, to be fair.
It felt like you were going to the countryside then.
Yeah, the bypass wasn't there, for instance. And people felt, it's out there in this town. But I mean, his idea was good because he wasn't just developing the ground. There was going to be training pitches and, you know, the facilities. So you'd have your own home then, like, and everything that goes with that, you know. And you'd have your own base. And something that League of Ireland clubs have never had, unfortunately, in Cork. But Bishopstown went out there for the few years that they were there, and we came back to the Cross. Yeah, European nights as well in Bishopstown. Galatasaray.
I remember it with the big flags. That was before Galatasaray were kind of known over the side of the world.
Yeah, that's right.
And I don't know how they found Bishopstown anyway, but they found it somehow.
They did.
But it was great memories, and Billy Woods hit the side of the net and we all thought it was a goal, and
absolutely.
It was
absolutely.
They were amazing times because they were a part-time team.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, for most of the League of Ireland going back, no, that team actually going back to Cork City, they were all full-timers, I think.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. But
they brought players from England over.
Yeah, they did. Brought some very good players over. But the as you said, a lot of part-time then. During the 80s into the 90s, right through that, you know, and indeed as we played out in Bishopstown, and then coming back here, and then in my opinion probably the best chairman this club ever had, Brian Lennox, came in and stabilised things, got us moving in the right direction in this place in the Cross here, and we had some success then after that, like, you know, we got more full time as well, of course, like, you know.
What are the kind of memories that stand out for you?
I suppose the big one of all was 2005 here, like when the league, that night, like last night of the Shed, and everything about the night, like, you know, was fantastic. If I remember, City had to win. I think that's right. They had to win the game. A draw would do Derry. And they were a very good team anyway, City, like, you know, with some very good players, and they deserved to win the league. And that night, it was very special. And it's pretty. Yeah, we went down a little bit after that, but then, you know, what happened 2008-9 then, like, you know.
Yeah, there's been a few downs over the years as well for all the ups, isn't there?
They have. But as I say, go back to what I said originally. I just think you need to support your local team, you know. I grew up in England, as I said.
And that's what's done there.
You support your local club.
Yeah.
If it's changed a bit over there now with the Premier League, and you get people travelling from all over, you never really fully grasp it, like to support the team, you know, from all over the world. In a lot of cases, that they've no real emotional, grounded attraction to, like, you know, or connection with, if you like, you know. So there's that. So, listen, I followed City all the years. We have had our ups and downs, and I just, I enjoy coming here, meeting friends of mine, and the crack, and it's all part of it too, you know.
So where would you usually sit in the stadium?
Well, I would sit over there in the Derrynan.
Would you?
See the daily industrials.
Yeah.
I used to stand in the shed for years, like, you know, but we've been over there. I think since the Derrynan was developed, which must be the guts of 20 years now.
I'd say so.
Yeah, it was there, definitely there in 2005 when we won the league. Yeah,
the seats were put in, I'd say, in the late 90s. I'd say.
Yeah, that's right, spot on. And there were definitely seats that time and won the league. So yeah, enormous in that area over there, you know, which, you know, it's compact and you've obviously been the halfway lane, you've good view of both goals and everything, you know.
I know the dugouts have moved over there.
And the dugouts, so
yeah, obviously the Raw is where we are right now, just below us. And that changed then after COVID.
Yeah, they were moved over there.
They came over to you.
They did. They followed me over.
Looking for tactical advice, were they?
Something like that.
And do you come here every Monday then for the football memories?
I do, most Mondays, yeah, I do enjoy it. Meet a lot, like I've known a lot of the lads for years going back. I mean, Jerry does and Dave. I've known the two lads for well over 30 years, like, you know, from coming here. So we enjoy it. We have a good crack. Not all football. We're solving the problems of the world at times, like, you know, and everything that's going on in this mad world at the moment. But yeah, generally there's we have good crack, like, you know. And I have to say the last few weeks that Danny's been coming along. We've had some great chats with him and his playing days, like, you know, and his involvement with the club. He's been a great, breath of fresh air in his own way too. He's been involved in so many aspects of the club as well, hasn't he? Yes. And a great player. He's a lovely footballer himself, a great player for the club, you know. Danny, a great character. I think he's bought into the whole Cork City thing as well over the years, you know. And he's doing a great job. With the women's team? With the girls, with the women, like, you know. Very, very, very encouraging how they're coming along, you know. Which is great to see. How are you feeling about the future for the club? Listen, I'd like the club will go on, hopefully develop, get back up into the Premier League, obviously. Where we deserve to be. Where we should be. Yeah. For God's sake, it's the second city of the country. Yeah. We should never be out of the top flight, like, ever, you know. We're with the support and the money in the city, we should always be up there. Not saying we're winning leagues every year or winning cups, but certainly competing, you know, and not in this league, in League One. It's not where we want to be. I think that's showing. Then the crowds are dropping off because people are saying, "Oh, why bother? Like, we're nearly already up," kind of thing, you know, which is a shame, but that's reality. People are. Sometimes it's hard to get your head around people dropping off and, you know, not going to matches, and it's hard, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It is. It's supportive. They come out, like. Yeah. But I just seen yourself, and you probably know, over in Cork, there seems to be like a fickleness at times, like, with support. With a lot of different sports, actually. It seems to be. It's not just a Cork City thing. I think it happens with the other codes as well, doesn't it? It does. Yeah. I know there was, obviously, with Cork Hurlers doing so well, there's a lot of people. There were a lot of bandwagoners, I think. There's a huge bandwagon, maybe, yeah. and look, Munster Rugby have had the same thing over the years as well. Yeah, we do. And have had, they wanted trying to get tickets for the All Ireland yesterday and all that, like, you know. But that's part of it as well. Well, maybe we might get to the Aviva this year. Yeah, with some great memories, didn't we? Just not too long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't
4
that
years in a row. You know, it was fabulous. And yeah, look, hopefully we're going to get back there. It'll take a little while, but certainly get back up into the top flight.
Step by step, and maybe at some stage get back into Europe or something.
Absolutely, that'd be great.
Well, Mark, thanks a million for coming on to the podcast and sharing some memories.
You're very welcome, Stephen.
My name is John Dulvin.
How are you, John? How long have you been supporting Cork City?
I support Cork City years, many times ago, because because Pastor Friend used to be my next neighbour.
Yeah.
At the time, I remember Pastor Friend coming out in the nurseries
with the Cork City tops.
Cork City tops on him.
So you were curious, were you?
Yeah. And at the same time, when the Pastor Friend came into his house, he asked me to come in there and say hello to him, because he normally do. And think because my sister got me involved with the family clothing section.
Oh, so do you help out? Do you volunteer on March night?
Yeah.
And what do you do?
I'm here on Monday. I does all the flags. I does all the make sure the kids to come up. This in the family clothing stand.
Yeah.
That and because I remember the time we went up to the FI with John F. Keating at the time with the bags of big fucking jellies and
giving them out to all the kids.
Give out all to the kids, and we ended up about. I'm actually joining with memories as well with Danny and joining life.
Yeah. So do you come here every Monday?
I come here every Mondays, and I come over every Mondays and Fridays and Saturdays. I do the girls as well.
Of the women's games
I do
as
the
well?
women's games, and I do the men's game. Because there's only 2 volunteers doing the women's game.
What do you like about the football memories?
They're about the old times. Bring back memories.
Yeah.
And because that's my normal do my usual. Because I normally off work I don't go to work Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Because I normally get out because my dad wants me to be more independent.
Yes.
Myself, and that's how I get my dad drives me out and in and out every Mondays.
So he drops you here, and you come in and you get to meet new people. I presume all the time.
And I'm honoured as well because I'm meeting all the new players, all the old faces. I remember the time when Conor was here. About we had Declan Kearney, Declan Collin, and Declan Delaney at one of the memories. Then he says about training and stuff, about all that. And that's really it.
So it's enjoyable to come and talk and have a cup of tea or whatever. And great memories. Yeah. You must have great memories of John Kennedy as well, have you?
Oh, just we had real last with John Kennedy.
Yeah.
Then, in fairness, when I got told he was passed away, I got a bit upset.
Yes, of course.
And he also got a tattoo of family close to remember of John F. Keating.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And I ended up, because every single time if I need him, he always be there. Because then I remember the times we go up the bus and go down the bus, we'd be back the bus messing.
Yeah.
Giving out jellies and that. Then, and I always remember John F. Keating knows about many times if he needs bodies to try to help us, and no problems helping us. That's why I got involved with the family clothes stand, because we were short about 89 or 95 per volunteers when John F. Keating left. Some of them left. When John left, they said we're not coming back because he's not with us no more.
Okay, they found it too hard?
They found it too hard to get bodies.
Yeah.
When my sister came to me about he would like to do volunteering help us. I'm more reliable, more welcome to help us on Friday and Saturdays.
To keep John's legacy going.
Keep John's legacy going. No pass of John's passes have got John's legacy going, and so Damien of his still legacy going. because that's why.
Because they were with John for years as well.
They're the part of 40 crowd.
Yeah, so 3 different perspectives. As I said, you know, you have someone that has been there only, I suppose, since the John Kennedy era with Jonathan, and it just goes to show as well how much he thought of John. And so many people do think of John all the time.
John gets brought up in conversation still to this day, every single day.
Yeah.
And rightly so as well. He's an absolute legend for what he did for the club and for the community, and he'll never be forgotten by anyone at Cork City.
You know, and but the amount of people I think that John introduced to the club as well.
Yeah, genuine. I remember, like, I used to go to a lot of our home games, but when I was younger, but going to away games on John's buses, and like not being introduced to Cork City via John, because I was there anyway, but you kind of you following his ways, sort of thing. You know, you get to know his people and the family enclosure group, for example, like stuff like that, and so many people have similar stories. Like everyone's been on a JFK bus.
Yeah, no,
everyone.
Brilliant. There is that kind of family community. It's more than a club type of feeling. And I know we say that a lot, but definitely you get that vibe from that legacy that John created, and before him, Noel, and there was other people as well, and it was actually nice as well to talk to older lads about the early days of the club, and even, you know, the early days at, you know, Flower Lodge, Turner's Cross, seeing the different wins over the years. Even a lot of them talking back about 98 Cup final win there is one of the memories that stands out. And we only had Derek here a few weeks ago, you know, and, you know, that's over 25 years ago, but it still stands in the mind of someone.
People remember it like it was yesterday.
So, no, I think people will enjoy that. And I think we'll try and get more fans on the podcast over the next couple of months as well.
I think so. I think next Friday, the Athlone game was probably a good night to go around with our microphone and get thoughts of people, especially with the return of Ruairí Keating. And there's going to be an incredible atmosphere there. So you might see us floating around with maybe even a camera. We might get some videos for social as well as we're doing it. But we want to do more of that. We want to it's great to have guests in, as we've said before, but we want this to be, anyone can talk to us.
Yeah, and it's great. Like the lads from West Cork Coffee actually were sponsors of a match there, I think against Harps. And they came up to me and said they listen to the podcast all the time.
Brilliant.
And, you know, it was good. They said, oh, I really enjoy it. And so there is, you know, we have regular listeners and people that just enjoy the stories. And that's what it's about. And
that's
they love
the purpose.
listening to whether it's a fan, a player, whoever. You know what I mean?
That's the purpose of this podcast. We've said it before, and that's what the idea behind this was.
Yeah. And, I suppose last week while you were away as well, we announced our first 3 guests. So we told you it wasn't just going to be us at the Opera House.
Yeah.
To be honest, no, that would be asking for a bit much just to be paying to come in to see us.
Yeah, as much as we think we're worth it, maybe not.
No, we're only the hosts. So we're not.
Yeah,
so we needed a bit more.
Stephen said there, we've announced 3 names. Again, it's not just the 3. There's going to be a lot more than that.
Yeah.
But we've gone with 3 big ones to
3 ones that haven't appeared on this podcast. We kind of kept them in the bag. We thought we might need them at some point.
Yeah, there's a lot of people actually we're kind of in that boat with. There's people we want to have on this, but we're like, oh God, we better to keep them for the live one.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be a crossover at some point anyway where we do have people in here. But John Caulfield, Alan Bennett,
and Davy
Barry.
I mean,
Dave Barry is the one that everyone wanted. He's been the one that people are saying, get him into the studio, get him on the podcast, but he'll be class.
But Dave was the first superstar of the club as well, and then he became a manager, won us our first cup as manager, but scored against Bayern Munich, scored against Galatasaray, was in the first league winning team. You know, Dave is just, you know, Davy Barry's Rebel Army.
And not even just in a football, a Cork City sense. He's obviously, it was a very successful GAA player as well.
At the same time.
Yeah, at the same time. So he's the wider Cork sporting public. He's a very familiar face and name.
As a plumber.
Yeah.
I mean,
where do these people have the time? I don't have time to go to the cinema without things breaking.
See, there was no social media back then. There was no browsing and losing hours on TikTok.
It fascinates me, yeah. Well, that's the problem, actually. It's the social media,
So there was more time at their disposal, maybe. And, it's going to be brilliant. And I think, you know, we'll have some fun on the night. But hopefully we'll have some visuals as well of maybe some memories and stuff we'll see.
Yeah, we're trying to dig out from the archives. There's goals. There's a couple of documentary type videos as well on YouTube that there's really good footage from. So we'll try and get some of those. We want it to be Yeah, it's a live special of the podcast, but it's a celebration of Cork City as well. You know what I mean? It's probably not going to be as structured as an episode of a podcast.
Yeah.
More so just kind of like a chat, really.
And like,
reminiscing on things.
I think people would be surprised to see that John is coming back.
That's the big one. I had a couple of texts and they were kind of like, how do you pull that off? But sure, look, we've done it. And it'll be fun.
All-time top goal scorers, our most successful manager.
Yeah.
You know, if you're talking about 40 years at the club, you know, John and Dave are up there with the best. Like,
they're probably two of in the top three people you have to get in, like, 100%.
You know? And then, like, I suppose then you have Alan Bennett then, who has been, he kind of, the start of his career and the end of his career with the UK and like with the likes of Reading and stuff in between. But, you know, I suppose he was in that early winning side under Dolan.
Yeah.
Kind of came in that era and then came back again.
Was an Irish international while he was here as well.
Yeah, and then came back in later years and I suppose was involved in the team that, you know, had that great run under John, like, you know, so it's, I think it'd be nice to hear his perspective from both sides, you know, those early days when this kind of Pat Dolan and all of that kind of was kicking off and when Kevin Doyle was playing alongside him and, you know, you had George and John and all them. And then in later years, he playing with the likes of, you know, Shawnee and Carl Shepherd and, you know, that time. That, you know, so they're two different eras, but he was in both of them.
Yeah.
Just like John was in both eras too. John was with Davies' era, but then as manager of a different era.
Everyone talks about, like, and as you mentioned there, John is our most successful ever manager. He's also a top scorer of all time. Yeah. Like, there's a whole
people forget about
fascinating playing career there as well that people
and again,
kind of...
he was working as a sales rep through all that as well. Like,
it's mad.
You know?
There's so many different eras at the club, and again, that's what this live podcast is going to be.
Some people cross over, so we're going to try and do that.
There's actually so many people that cross over, it kind of makes things confusing trying to structure it, but
the whole thing will make sense in another while, but a bit of a clue is that there'll probably be two halves, like, you know what I mean? And, you know, so
we are a football club.
We are a football club, so we're going to make the podcast a bit like that. So we're not going to throw everyone on the stage at the same time, but we'll split the guests.
Exactly,
so that everyone kind of get there.
There'll be a lot of familiar faces there from every year of the club.
Yeah.
There's going to be someone there that everyone has a connection with and remembers them as a player, as a manager, as a volunteer, whatever it is. There's going to be, you can go there no matter what age you are, how into Cork City you are, you're going to know people there.
And even that, with the break that we'll have in between and beforehand and afterwards and stuff like that, it'd be a great opportunity to meet City fans.
100%,
and
meet City players, former players, whatever it is.
Because there'll be a lot come along for the bit of crack and stuff like that. And, you know, so I think it'll be a good night for that. And you can get the tickets in the Opera House website.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
And while we're speaking of tickets, don't forget the comedy night for the Academy as well, coming up at the end of October also.
That's it, yeah. So, City Till I Die Laughing.
So two.
Great name.
Two
Shout out
nights.
Anthony O'Sullivan for the name.
Yeah.
But we've been promoting that as well this week. Those tickets are selling away, which is good.
Yeah.
So we'll look forward to seeing people there too.
Yeah. Speaking of the podcast, one of our former guests in recent weeks looks like he's set to move to the UK, move to Everton.
If you're following Fabrizio Romano on Twitter anyway, then he's already done the medical and he passed the medical. So
Sky Sports were on about it anyway over the last day or two. Anyway,
it could be all announced by the time this podcast comes out. It could be nothing announced. We don't know. But we kind of mentioned at the time that there could be something on the table for Jake. So,
and that means we get a percentage. Not us personally, but the club.
Unfortunately, not us. Yeah, I'd love some. But the club gets something. I don't know the ins and outs of it. But
and I think Lakewood and y'all do as well.
All his former clubs will, yeah. But I think we all wish him the very best.
Yeah.
Maybe not. There might be some fans of clubs in England as well who aren't Everton who maybe don't want him to do well, but we'll see.
Yeah,
it's great, but it's great to see. I think
some
that makes
Liverpool
him
fans might
at the minute. That makes him the most expensive ever ex-League of Ireland player. Am I right in saying that?
Oh, I'd say easily. Is he?
For now, you'd imagine if Evan Ferguson gets a move, he'll go for more than 20 mil. I think, to be honest, like the price some clubs are paying for defenders, Jake is worth a lot more than 20 mil. But that's another.
Did Evan Ferguson ever play in the league?
He did.
Did he?
He definitely did. Yeah.
He actually got a game.
He made a couple of appearances.
Oh, did he?
For Bowes. Matt Doherty's gone for a bit as well.
Well, Matt Doherty would be.
Has he gone for more than 20? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I got the feeling it was around 15 or something. I can't remember now.
Is he the most expensive ever Irish player?
No, Nathan Collins, I think.
Was he more?
I think he's more. I could be wrong knowing that.
Interesting. Well, even if he is more, he's not much more.
Yeah. And I think the biggest is, well, if you put all, no, with inflation, probably Robbie Keane and stuff, like, but
Yeah,
Robbie Keane had more clubs down in space of a few years.
he did. Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean,
but look, it's brilliant for him. It shows the pathway that's there as well for
and like we had to
young
be careful
players.
asking him about leaving and stuff on the podcast, 'cause, you know, at that time. But we kind of spoke to him off, and you could see that he was interested in moving to the Premier
Yeah.
League. He kind
of
of
course he was.
That was his preference, is to
Yeah,
move
of
to the
course
Premier.
he
He kind of
was.
said that he won't, because I suppose with a new Irish manager, the Irish media tend to focus more on the English leagues than they do, you know, let's say
Yeah,
France.
sure. He barely got a mention
Yeah.
up until the end of the season when he was in cup finals and stuff.
And so you could see the role the media have
Yeah.
in this. If you're constantly on TV and if you're constantly mentioned all the time,
Yeah,
that's going to help. And
exactly. Yeah,
and I think Sophie, who was out with him that day, his girlfriend, would be delighted too. She'd be closer to home as
exactly.
well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
look, wish them the best of luck.
100%. I'm sure the whole City fan base, which
yeah.
isn't the best, whole League of Ireland fan base, really, because
And Everton played Sligo there only recently. Maybe they'll come and play Cork City now as well.
maybe, yeah, maybe that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I see they were making a big deal. Well, maybe he's taken over the legacy of Seamus Coleman now, because Everton
Possibly,
will be
yeah.
very much associated with him. Like, so,
They always have been, yeah.
you know.
But no, it's brilliant for him.
I know,
We're
it's
delighted
brilliant.
to see him get that move, and
Yeah.
hopefully it all works out.
And I see Marco Manni was playing away in, I think, was it Japan? or
They're in
something?
Japan, yeah.
Yeah, and he was playing for Brighton over there. So like, it was
Joe
brilliant.
O'Brien Whitmarsh was actually playing for
Southampton.
Southampton. I think
Saw
they're in
that.
Spain, is it, or something like that?
Yeah.
But
So good.
he played as well. Brilliant,
Great
yeah.
to see all our
We're spreading far
academy
and wide here.
graduates
Yeah.
doing well. And speaking of the academy, it was nice to see Jaden in the ground the other night as well. So hopefully he's on the mend and he'll be back
Yeah,
soon.
I don't know what the update is there.
I don't
but,
either. He's keeping it, like I asked him how he's doing. He says recovering it, but
Yeah,
you know,
that's I'm grand. That's what you always
that's
get.
all
yeah.
you get from him.
Yeah.
But it was good to see him anyway physically, that he and walking around, and hopefully he'll be back with us soon, because he was exciting when he was playing there.
Yeah. Oh, he was brilliant.
You
Bit like
know.
Hall, hit the ground running,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, and I think in particular, I just see the way the youngsters are around him. You know, even though he's probably only a year or two older than half of him, but you know,
Yeah.
they get excited
Yeah.
when they see him. there.
He's their age. A lot of
Yeah,
them might say. Yeah.
yeah. But he's so tall and stuff like that. He stands out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, looking forward to seeing him back as well. But yeah, so we're away this weekend.
Treaty on Friday, yeah. There's actually a supporters bus being run. Owen McCarthy is running a bus. He asked us to promote that on our socials over the last couple of days, which
Very
we
good.
did. Not sure on the numbers there, but the info is on our social media. Owen's number is there. You can give him a shout. I think it's €25 a head.
Tickets are nearly sold out already, I'd say that.
Yeah, so we sent the link to our season ticket holders yesterday. I don't know how many. I know the original batch sold out and there was more made available. So anything that's left will be going on general sale this evening. But I'd imagine it's about $350.
Yeah.
That's what we got last time.
And
And
he's turning up in random Limerick jerseys.
I know, yeah. And to be fair, you'd expect we'll fill the $350 as well.
Not treaty, I mean.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Friday, and then on Saturday, the girls kick off the Women's FAI Cup campaign, which is good. So lovely Cork derby there, Douglas Hall at home.
Yeah.
Split loyalties for a lot of people, I'd say, because there's a lot of people involved in both clubs. So
Yeah, it's the kind of funny thing, isn't it?
yeah,
Douglas Hall would often be a bit of a feeder club to Cork City over the years as well, isn't it? Yeah.
there's a lot of people who played for both and support both. So this will be fun.
That'd be a nice day out.
Yeah.
You know, and the cup.
Cup football is always
I know,
fun.
like City would be strong favourites, but on the cup there, we can't take things for granted.
100%, yeah.
You know, and especially they'll want to get one over on the bigger team in the city.
Exactly,
as well.
yeah,
So
of
like
course.
you'd have
That's always the
you'd
way.
have to be careful about Douglas Hall that way. Like,
Yeah, that's always the way.
you know, and it'd be nice if they got a run in the cup as well. You know, both sides.
Yeah, brilliant, yeah.
You know.
If the further we can go, look, on the men's side, we got to the semi last year. If we can go one further,
Yeah.
fantastic.
And a lot of big teams are gone already. And if we could knock out Derry, that's another big one gone.
Imagine, yeah. Yeah, and then on the girls' side as well, get through past Douglas Hall, hopefully, and then I think there's one round less in the women's one because
That's
there's fewer
right, yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get a bit of a run there as well, and we get to the final, which is in Tala for that. But
Brilliant.
we'll see.
So yeah, so we look forward to the fixtures at the weekend, and I'm sure we'll be back maybe with an interesting guest over the next week or two.
I think everyone knows who we're going to want to have on the
Yeah.
podcast over the next couple of weeks. So
A man in demand, but we'll see if we get him on.
he's very in demand this week. My phone and Aina's phone has been hopping with journalists trying to
Yeah.
get him. So
So we'll try and get him on at some point.
yeah, no doubt we'll have him in.
Yeah. So until then, see you next week.
See you next week.